Hi folks, Tim here again, timsclass.com. Today we're going to cover some trim guns. That's just a broad category we're going to call it. These are all pneumatic nailers and staplers that are used for different purposes within the trim industry. It's interesting, you've got framing guns, which we'll be covering in another video, and along with coil nailers and other different types of nailers. But in this particular one, we're going to cover the trim guns. But just an interesting note, the bigger the gun, the less money you make. So if you're using a framing gun, you're not going to get paid as much as, say, a cabinet guy that's using a pin nailer like this. So just as kind of on a side note there. We're going to start here with the finish nailer. You can see I'm an Hitachi fan, which is now Metabo. They don't, it's just same gun, they just changed it to Metabo instead of Hitachi. These guns have been great over the years, kind of hard to tear them up, just really good machines. So this particular one is used for shooting finish nails, simple enough. If you look here, I've got two different sizes. This is 2.5 inch and that's a 2 inch. I think I've got some 2 inch in there. We're gonna shoot something together over here in a minute. So that's how you unload this one. Pop that back. Yeah, I've got 2 inch in there. I'm gonna put some 2.5 inch in there, and you just simply load it by dropping them down in there. You push that button, it brings the release back, and it's ready to go. A couple of notes to think about. This doesn't work like you see in the movies. When I pull the trigger, nothing happens. This is the safety mechanism. This part right here has to be pushed back before this gun will fire. So that's your safety mechanism. I've seen some finish carpenters, other builders out there lock these back. Don't do that. That's just asking for something bad to happen, okay? Notice I'm wearing my safety glasses. Anytime you're dealing with pneumatic nailers, make sure you're wearing your safety glasses. So this is a fairly long staple or nail. You want to constantly be aware of how long your nail is and keep your fingers far enough back that you don't have to worry about if that nail were to come out the side or the edge. It's not going to go through my finger. And believe me, it will go right through your finger. But like I said, these are 2.5 inch nails. First thing you want to do, oil it. So this is gun oil. You're just going to put 2 drops right there where the air hose hooks on, and that'll push that oil through the gun, keeps it well lubricated and well maintained. So we're gonna go ahead and hook this up and turn on the compressor, and we'll show you how it works. By the way, if you watched my previous video, we finally got the air compressor fixed. The gauges were just kind of stuck. We got them unstuck. So I'm gonna turn it on. It's already got air pressure in it, so it didn't kick on. It will when it gets low. I'm gonna go ahead and hook it up. You'll notice how you do this. You take this little brass fitting right here, see how this moves? So you're gonna push that back and you push this in and let that go and it grabs it. When you wanna take it out, you do the same thing. You push in, pull that back, and let go. So push it in, let that go, there you have it. It's all hooked up, we've got air pressure. Let me change the setting on this. I've only got it set at 60, so I'm gonna bump it on up. Okay, and we're ready to go. So let's hook up our hose. And now we've got pressure on it, it's ready to shoot. So let's, for the first illustration, I'm just gonna take these 2 pieces of trim that are 45. Maybe I wanted to make a picture frame. I'm gonna put them together, hold it tight. Okay, and it shoots it in there. Okay, that nail's all the way back to here. On something this wide, you would have wanted to glue it and then just use that nail to temporarily hold it till the glue sets up. That's if I was doing something like a picture frame. Okay, so that's how that works. If I wanted to shoot something a little smaller, let's say I was doing some corners like this, and I wanted to shoot them together, I wouldn't want to use this big nail because more than likely it's going to go in and come out the side. All right, let me see if I can illustrate that. Well, didn't come out. A lot of times it will push out the side and really mess up your wood. You don't want to do that, okay? Be aware, like I said, those nails are 2.5 inches long. So look how far that nail comes through there. Okay? What if my hand had been right there? Would have gone right through my finger. Would have been a bad day. All right, so always be aware of what's going on when you're shooting that. That's the finish nailer. All right, our next gun that I would have wanted to have used on that. All right, now I've already oiled all these, so I'm not gonna take the time to do that. This is a brad gun. They call it a brad nailer, and you can see it shoots an 18 gauge nail. The first one was a 16 gauge. Second one, the brad nailer, is an 18 gauge. And the difference is the bigger the number, the smaller the metal, just like in wiring, okay? So we have bigger metal in the 16 gauge than we do in the 18 gauge brad nailer. You load this by simply pushing this button, pulling that back. I think I've got some little 1.5 inch brads in there right now, so we'll just leave those in there. And we'll come over here. Once again, this is your safety. We're gonna put the air pressure to it. Okay, and that's going to put that together much nicer with those little nails than it will the big nails. Okay, notice how these don't set in all the way. Sometimes they don't. Maybe I don't have enough pressure on the gun. Remember the nail set that we talked about in the previous video? That's what that nail set's for. You put the nail set on it, push those nails in, they completely disappear into the wood. Okay, another good use for this, quarter round. Got a piece of quarter round here. This would be something similar to what you'd see on your floor. If this was the base, your baseboard, my quarter round would go right there, okay? And this would be a perfect gun for the quarter round. So I'm gonna shoot that down. I'm gonna try and catch the trim and the floor with that. Okay. And then you just caulk in between there. Got a great fit, a great little setup there. And that's the brad gun. All right, we'll skip the staple gun. Let's go to the pin nailer. This actually shoots needles. If I can pull some out here. I've only got a few left in here. But you can see how tiny that is. And if you feel them, they're actually a little needle. This is what cabinet makers use. So let's say I'm putting up some crown molding on my cabinets. I've got a little piece of it right here. Okay, if I was putting this up, I would want to make sure, like this part, incidentally on crown molding, the most decorative side, see how we got a lot more bling right here than we do this? The bling always goes down, not up. So this would be on my ceiling, this would be on the cabinet itself. So if I was nailing that down to my cabinet, it'd be something similar to that. Now, I don't want to make a big mark in it. So what I would do is glue the back of this, put it on my cabinet, and then I'm going to use my pin nailer to hold that in place while the glue is setting up, okay? This is your safety on this gun, so when I pull that down, it's ready to shoot. You can see right here, see the little needles that it's shooting out? And those are sharp, okay? So that's what a pin nailer's for, and it doesn't even leave a mark. You can't hardly even see it there. You could take some little touch-up paint, go over where that went in, and never know that ever went in there. So that's a pin nailer. Okay, last gun I want to cover, this is a staple gun. This would be used for putting backing to different things. You load this by pulling that back, and your staples simply slide in here. I think we got some little 1 inch, those are about 1 inch staples. And they slide in like that. And then you push that button and this comes back. So now that gun is ready to go, and it's going to shoot that little 1-inch staple. This would be for, let's say I wanted to shoot a piece of paneling on something. So let's come back to our first illustration, and maybe I wanted to shoot this to the back of something. Okay, that's going to shoot and hold that paneling in place, just like you would, maybe you had a bookcase and you wanted to put a back panel on it. That's the staple gun that you would want to use. It's called a narrow crown stapler. So that's going to hold that panel in there on the back side of it. And they call it a narrow crown because it's narrow on the crown. Okay, they make a wide crown stapler that's used in framing for putting the sheathing on the walls. And we'll try and cover that when we get to it at a later date. And that's pretty much it for the trim guns. I hope you got something out of this. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or send me a note and I'll try and respond. Thank you.